Hello friends, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Why don't you take a minute to go down and press the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss anything. For my fans and subscribers, welcome back. I really do appreciate the patronage. Today's topic is Jehovah's Witnesses, Russell's independent ministry. Yes, I know Russell was never a Jehovah's Witness. Russell staunchly defended the doctrine of Substitutionary Atonement, and it seems that this defense, more than anything else, thrust him into a leadership role. He also determined to keep Barber's chronology even after Barber himself abandoned some of it. Don't ask me because I don't know why. Before 1881, Russell didn't have any aspirations to found a new religion, as evidenced by his short-term eschatology. He assumed that the quote-unquote harvest of the 144,000 would end in 1881. In that year, he believed the door to that high calling, but not mercy, would be closed forever. This prediction served two purposes. First, it turned the attention of the Bible students away from the disappointment of Jesus not returning in 1878. Secondly, it provided Russell's followers with a sense of urgency for preaching. He also predicted that the churches, whom he termed Babylon the Great, would start falling, and that the quote-unquote rapture of the saints would also happen that year. In November of 1880, he said that this rapture would take place invisibly. He would change his position on the timing and the nature of the rapture. Lying about organizational history, as it turns out, started with Russell himself. In May of 1881, Russell said that the Watchtower never claimed that the saints would be raptured that year, but a contributor to the Watchtower magazine wrote in January of 1881, quote, "We propose some of the evidences seem to show the change due this side or by the fall of our year 1881. Since Russell was the editor, he obviously agreed with this statement, as can be seen in the December 1880 issue. In 1879, he married Maria Frances Ackley, but he wasn't interested in settling into married life. Instead, he organized study groups in 7 states. The following year, he visited them, spending 6-hour study sessions with each one. I am not going to go into his marriage troubles. I don't care. Despite the vacillations, his exuberant personality drew more followers than the activities of his cohorts. He was first recognized as pastor in Allegheny, Pennsylvania in October of 1876, and then in other congregations. Starting in 1880, Russell and his followers began to publish and distribute tracts. He published 2 small books in 1881, Tabernacle Teachings and Food for Thinking Christians. At least in the beginning, Russell didn't want to start a new denomination, but he and his followers were already set apart from other churches in many ways. Thus, they were pretty much forced to form their own denomination. This separation from other churches mainly stemmed from their acceptance of conditionalism and George Storr's idea of redemption, as well as premillennial eschatology. Through his break with Barber, Russell weakened ties with the Adventists, and in 1882 he rejected the Trinity and adopted the Arian Theology. The Arian Theology, otherwise known as the Arian heresy, is the idea that Jesus is not divine, although he is the Son of God. I have done some things on the Arian theology. They are the eye in the corner will take you there. They also earned distinction through their insistence that all members should preach. However, they did not regard preaching as their primary duty as JWs do today. The eventual goal was to gather a little flock who, through character development, would become new creations in Christ. They believed that most of mankind would gain salvation in the millennium, the 1,000-year reign of Christ, in which the devil would be bound. And then they would have life on paradise earth. In 1886, Russell used his own money to publish Volume 1 of Studies in the Scriptures, later known as The Divine Plan of the Ages. In 1889, he published Volume 2, The Time is at Hand. Then, in 1891, he published Thy Kingdom Come. Followed in 1897 by the Battle of Armageddon. In 1899, At-One-ment between God and man, and in 1904, the New Creation. At first, the organization that Russell founded had very little organizational infrastructure. Like George Storrs, Russell detested the churches of Christendom, who he and Storrs named collectively Babylon the Great. The Bible students, as they were calling themselves, had sent 2 missionaries by 1881 to Great Britain, and they established congregations in Canada a few years later. Because Watchtower was growing and needed greater organization, Russell incorporated Zion's Watchtower Tract Society of Pennsylvania in 1884. Today, that organization is known as Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania. After he moved headquarters to Brooklyn, New York, he formed the People's Pulpit Association in 1909, which is now known as Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of New York. He established the British Corporation of International Bible Students Association in 1914. Russell became known for his publications, public debates, world tours, and avid evangelism. In the first decade of the 1900s, he started paying newspapers to print his sermons. Finally, a few years before his death, he produced the Photodrama of Creation, a moving picture that was synchronized with phonographic records. Well, friends, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, press the subscribe button, and if you want to know when I come out with new content, hit the bell next to the subscribe button. My Twitter, Discord, email, and PayPal links are in the description, along with the source that I used for this episode. If you wish to contact me, the best way is through Twitter, but you can email me. Also, if you would, please leave comments in the comment section. Not only do I love hearing from you, but it also triggers the YouTube algorithm. Keep learning and searching for truth. Here are a few videos from my library. If you have not watched them yet, go ahead and watch them and tell me what you think. Until next time, friends, stay safe and goodbye.